Hey guys, welcome back to the Bantering Boneheads. Our conversation today is going to be about NDEs, and it's something I've always been interested in, fascinated by.
So, do you believe in it?
Yeah, I do.
Do you?
Mm-hmm. I definitely do. I have watched, I would say, hundreds of videos on these things. Hundreds. And just blows my mind. A lot of them have a lot of similarities, and then some of them's a little different, but they all seem to touch on certain things that are the same. Every single one of them that I've ever heard.
Okay. So you firmly say that you're a believer.
I am, yeah.
Okay. While how do I put this? Okay, I firmly believe in life after death. I am a believer in God. I do not apologize for that. But I have got to tell you, I'm a complete skeptic about this, because I think once you die, you're just like Rover. When you're dead all over. Okay, so I think once the soul leaves the body, that's it. There's no coming back. I don't believe in, I met Jesus and I came back to tell you all about it. I can't. I think there is a logical, scientific explanation for everything. Okay? While science may not be perfect, let me put it like this. If science and the Bible agree, you've got great science. If science and the Bible disagree, science is flawed. Okay? However,
I get that, yeah.
I think there's a logical, scientific explanation for everything. So we'll start with that.
Okay, so saying that, man, a lot of people say, in a situation like that, your brain's doing some weird firing, oxygen deprivation or whatever
Exactly.
it is, But what gets me are the ones that they talk about popping out of their body and have extreme detail of what's going on in the room, and it matches up with what the doctors and the nurses are all doing. I've seen a bunch of those that lined up perfectly. And not only was I watching the ones with the person having the experience, but also some of the people involved were in some of them, so they're like, yeah, this is 100% how it went down. So that in itself makes me believe that, yeah, it's definitely real. But then you have those ones where they like pop out of their body and they're kind of viewing what's happening. Then they get like sucked away into a different realm. We'll put it that way.
Okay.
And everyone that I have listened to said they felt like they were going home. Like that's where they originated from and where it all began, and they're back.
Okay, do you have examples?
I mean, I don't have any names or anything.
That's fine.
I've watched videos after video of these things, and we'll actually put a link into for another podcast or something on YouTube that you can check out some of these NDE videos if you want, because this guy is phenomenal when he's sitting there and just, interviewing these guys. But some of the things...
I'm sorry, you said he's abominable? No. Oh, okay. I must have misunderstood.
I don't even know what I said really, but it's
phenomenal.
Just... it's just always fascinated me, man. A lot of them talk about in this other realm or whatever you want to call it, being like just consumed with this overwhelming love that they can't even really describe. I mean, it's, a lot of them say they don't have words to really explain what it's like. And then they talk about, some of them's in like, they'll be in like a field or something like that, and they talk about the colors so vibrant that we don't even have those colors
You know why?
No.
Okay, this, again, just my perception of it, okay? I've heard people that was on LSD and things like that their mind starts tripping. They see all these crazy colors, like you was talking about a minute ago. Oxygen deprivation makes your mind do crazy things.
Yeah, but you still can't, dismiss the fact of what they see going on in the room and it lining up with what really happened.
Okay, so maybe they have a disconnect between their thought process and what the brain's actually doing. Okay, the process of the brain, and their ears are still working. They hear what's going on, but they don't realize it. And then when they wake up, it comes back as a memory.
That's possible. It's possible. But it just blows my mind at the similarities. A lot of them talk about how time is not a thing.
Right.
Like you could be gone 2 or 3 minutes here and experience just. Here's one quote one of them said.
Okay, excuse me a minute. I'm going to need something to wash this down.
Okay. They were talking about time, and one of the people said, "You are standing inside the eternity of a single moment. The only time is now." In a situation like that. And really, if you think about it,
It's true.
that's where God is. Now, not
Yeah,
past,
yeah. Well,
not
we're
present.
now.
Yeah, everything is now.
So you don't believe in time travel?
I believe it's a possibility. I mean, I think outside the box, way outside the box.
Yeah, I think you've got to kick the box down the cliff. And it's
Yeah. But think about that. Living inside the eternity of a single moment that just goes on and on and on forever. That's just incredible. Another one, they talk about another one said you can't be hungry for something unless you've already experienced it. Think about that for a minute. If you never experienced a certain thing, you would have no
hunger for.
So
You've got to miss something to be able to desire it, which means you first encountered it.
Yeah. And
Where are you coming up with this stuff, man? This is like way deep.
It's very deep, dude. I'm telling you, the NDE things blow my mind.
Deep, dude.
Deep, dude. But you know me, stuff like that's always fascinated me.
Yeah.
And like I said, I've watched video after video after video, and it just really, really trips me out, man. A lot of them talk about they remember planning their life.
No comment. Okay.
Well, I heard my pastor say one time that how can I just think the exact words, but the gist of it was, you were there from the beginning. You agreed to this, basically.
Okay.
And a lot of people talked about planning. Remember planning their life. Like it was going to go this certain route. Of course, you've got choices to make, which would,
Right.
Like a fork in the road. But a lot of those NDEs talk about stuff like that, man.
Wow. Tell you what, before we go any deeper into this, what are your thoughts? I'd be curious to read the comments.
Yeah, because it's kind of a controversial topic.
Oh, it's very controversial.
I mean, it's it just, I don't know. I dig it. I really do.
Well, I like things that make you think outside the box. Okay, I'll give you that. Being a truck driver for 39 years now, I've had a lot of time behind the wheel. Just to there's only so much you can do holding a steering wheel and watching the road. Mm-hmm. So your mind goes off in la la land sometimes, and you come up with different things. For instance, I've never ever believed in reincarnation. Okay. But first thing I do as far as science is concerned is my go-to book is the Bible.
Right. Yeah, mine too.
Okay. And then once I find things in the Bible and all that either proves or disproves something, then I go to science with a biblical lens.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm the same way.
Yeah. You got to be.
You got to be.
I mean,
and how can I say this? Kind of like that AI video we had, God and AI. You thinking of things in a human aspect when you got to think of it spiritually.
right.
You think about this, dude. How we put God in a box. We really do. We picture God being this way, when there's no box that can contain him.
It's a good way to look at it.
Yeah. I mean, so you start really thinking outside the box, and you talked about the reincarnation thing, which, hey, just to let you know, you might want to tune in to next week's video because we're going to be talking about that. Reincarnation and, same bonehead time, same bonehead channel.
That was good.
Thank you.
Nice segue.
But, I'm the same way. I look at the Bible, I look at science, and, I don't want to get too much into the reincarnation thing till the next show.
Right.
But, yeah.
Well, the thing is, biblically, and I know some people think it's just a book, and that's fine. That's on you. This is my personal convictions.
Right, yeah, everybody's got their own
to
thing.
each their own. I'm not going to judge. But if you can't prove something or disprove something, you've got to leave it open to the possibilities.
Yeah. Don't just shut it down.
Yeah, I'm not saying. Well, maybe I'm saying these people are crazy, but I don't mean to. The fact of the matter is, me or you, either one one of us had an NDE.
No.
Okay, so we're only going off of what other people tell us.
Right.
The Bible doesn't prove or disprove it, to the best of my knowledge. If y'all know something that I don't know, leave it in the comments because I'd be curious to find out.
Yeah, I don't. A lot of people misquote a scripture.
Which one?
This in Corinthians, where they say to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord.
Right, I've said that for years.
And that's not what it says. We talked about that last
Couple
week, I
days
think
ago,
it was. Yeah. It says something to the extent of, I can't remember word for word, but we'd rather be absent from the body and present with the Lord. Something like that,
Yeah, basically, yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, but you think about it. Where is God? What is God? He is everything.
Yep.
Everything. I mean, everything. So, you're present with the Lord now. You're right in the middle of it.
Well, yeah.
If you think about it.
Yeah, there's some questions I've got about that we can talk about off the air.
Yeah. We'll probably record it anyway.
Yeah, probably so.
But that way.
So.
But the NDEs, I'm definitely a believer in it. Because, there are just so many similarities, man. And, even talking about how they feel when they're pulled from their body and how they feel when they go back in their body. And they think, like, when they're out of their body, they're such a big, what's the word? Spirit or entity, and when they're going back in, they think, how am I going to squeeze all of this into that? A lot of them talk about having 360-degree views.
Wow.
Yeah, like you see everything.
Okay, but again, it gets back to, have you ever heard of stolen valor?
No.
No. In the military, people honestly earn their stars and stripes and
Yeah, yeah,
so on and
yeah.
so forth. Okay. Now, I've never been in the military per se. Okay. I could come up bragging about things that I did based on someone else's story. Okay. That
Yeah.
would be considered stolen valor.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So you don't think that it's possible that these people have heard all these other stories, which is why they're so similar?
Okay, yeah, I thought about that too. But then I watched some that talked about having these, and they were so far back. And when I say so far back, I mean like, in the 70s or 60s or 50s when it happened to them. And, there wasn't all this videos and internet and books about crap like this. They didn't know what in the world happened. And it was many years later that they run across other people that had similar experiences, so they were just like, what happened to me? They had no clue, nobody to talk to. Back in the day, man, a lot of this stuff was taboo,
Oh, yeah.
And people are more open to talk about stuff like this now. And I don't know why that is, but, it is what it is. And, but like I said, a lot of those guys I listened to literally had those experiences, didn't know what they were. And for years, in the dark about it.
Okay, so do you have a story?
Do I have a story?
Yeah, you was getting ready to start one a little bit ago, I believe.
No, I mean, not of one in particular person, but I did notice that I'd say probably 100% of them was a different person after this. I mean, it changed them for the good.
Well, I would hope so.
Yeah, yeah. But, I mean, it's pretty wild. I say, hey, look up some videos and watch them. It'll blow your mind. Believe it or not, it's great entertainment. And,
Well, so is the Y-Files, but I don't believe half of what he talks about either.
I like AJ, man.
Oh, AJ freaking rocks.
Yeah. But I guess that's going to be a wrap for this, unless you got something you want to add to it.
No, I guess this was kind of your thing because I'm the non-believer in this one.
Yeah.
But hey, look, if you got anything out of it, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you'd be so kind. It really helps a small channel. Trust me, and
Yeah.
we'd appreciate it.
Yeah, we really do.
So with that being said, wherever you go,
Whatever you do,
stay bona fide.
stay bona fide.